everybody, welcome back to my channel, Color and Zest. I hope you guys are doing fabulous. Summer is in full swing. In Las Vegas, I think the temperature reached 117 degrees, which, yeah, it's kind of warm, I guess. So we are enjoying that summer. Must say it is pretty warm, but I do love the heat, definitely more so than the cold, so I am not complaining about that at all. But anyway, let's get to the point of this video. So today I am reviewing Drugstore foundations. I tested a whole bunch of Drugstore foundations over a really long period. I want to say we have about 9 foundations which I tested, so I'm going to give you the scoop on those, let you know what I think, let you know what worked for me. Just so you guys know, I do have kind of combination skin right now. With the heat, it is a little bit more oily. I do tend to break out like around my T-zone area and definitely around my chin with hormonal acne, but typically I look for a foundation that has the right combination of matte and glow. I don't like to be overly shiny. I like something that kind of controls the shine but does not completely mattify the skin. I think completely matte skin is not very natural looking, so that's what I look for in a foundation. If that's not what you like, or you don't need a long-lasting wear foundation, or you like something more hydrating, please know that you might have different opinions to me. These are just my opinions based on my skin and my type of preference for foundation. So just want to let you know that right off the bat. You may completely disagree with those, and that's completely fine. After all, this is makeup at the end of the day. It would be a completely boring world if we all like the same foundation. So let's get into it. Let's go through. I'm going to give you my top 5 Drugstore foundations, and then I'm going to start off with the ones that did not really make the grade at all. Okay, so let's get into it. So starting off with the foundations that I really did not enjoy using at all, I'm going to start off with the CoverGirl Outlast Stay Fabulous. Okay, so this retails at $11.99, and honestly, I just hated this foundation. I'm just going to keep it very, very real. This foundation does have SPF 20. It also has a pump, but it was just one of those that I just tried, and I knew instantly from the way it applied. It was very thick, but it didn't blend very well. It was like, no, I never want to deal with you ever again. If you love it, great. It just really didn't suit me, so I didn't even try it. I gave it one go, and I was like, no, we're not going to be friends. I'm sorry. So that's really all I have to say about that. This did not make the cut of my top 5. So the next foundation that I wasn't really wowed with was the Milani Conceal and Perfect Foundation. This retails at $8.99. So it does have a pump. So that's definitely one of my favorite things with a foundation that I look for. I think a pump is great. The thing I really found about this was I didn't love the color on me. I felt it was just too dark, and I actually had the most lightest version of this. It was hard for me to blend in. The finish was okay. And it lasted okay, but I just couldn't get past the color, and at the end of the day, if it's not the right color, it's not going to work for me, and I just didn't feel it was a good enough foundation to kind of mix them in, play about, change the formula, blah, blah, blah. So for me, I didn't love it, and I didn't love it, and what it did, I didn't feel was good enough for me to try and love it, to try and work with it, to mix things in. So for me, this just wasn't a good fit at all. So again, this didn't make my top 5, but if you love it, kudos to you. So another one which did not make my top 5 is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow. I have tried the red version of this with the red packaging, the matte one. Overall, I just didn't love this at all. So the one reason I didn't really love the matte is I found for my skin it was just way too matte. I feel like skin is just not matte, so I don't look for an all-over mattifying foundation. So I thought, okay, well, let's try this. But then for me, this just went way too the other way. So, you know, it applied nicely. I felt that it wasn't too cakey. The color was a little off for me. It was a little dark. But by the end of the day, I was just a big, shiny mess. And so because of that, I didn't love this. So I definitely don't think I would recommend this at all. You know, it does have SPF 15. If you love it and it works for your skin, that's awesome. It just didn't work for mine, and it didn't make my top 5. So I've been seeing this foundation a lot on Instagram. It is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless. So, you know, this retails, let's see, it's $7.99, and I felt that this was kind of okay. At the start, the finish went on nicely. It was a little bit sheer for me. It lasted okay. But after 3 hours, it just went really, really cakey on my skin. It just went patchy, it broke up, it didn't hold up well, it was just very cakey, and it just didn't perform as well as some of the others that I tested and that were in my top 5. You know, it's perfect. It says it's formulated completely for my skin. Normal to oily, that's me. Matte and poreless, I look for those things. But it just didn't last, and living in 100-degree heat right now, living in the desert, even though it's dry and it's not humid, you still need foundation to last, and that's what I expect. So because of that, I just didn't love this either, so this does not make my top 5. Okay, so now for my top 5 foundations. So we have the Revlon Color Stay. I am in the shade 150. This has an SPF 15, and it does have a pump, so that's awesome. And this retails for around about $12.99. So this formulation, combination oily, Color Stay, so I really did enjoy this. I thought this was a great color for me. It covers nicely at the beginning, it's not too cakey, and it wore pretty well throughout the day. As the day went on, it was getting quite patchy, but it was kind of there, but it was just kind of patchy. So, you know, I find sometimes with foundation, it either kind of stays and it goes shiny, or it holds the oil, it controls the oil, but it goes cakey. Maybe not in the summer, maybe in the winter this would be really great. Perhaps in a place that's not as hot as Las Vegas, this would be great. But for here, from my situation, from my skin, this definitely was good. It made my top 5. I'll probably reach for it occasionally because it does last and it does go through, but as I said, I did feel that it was a little bit patchy. It was there, but it was a little bit patchy. So out of the 5, it's number 5. So definitely one to consider, but I still think there are better. So it's in my 5, but I think there's better. So at number 4, we have the Rimmel Lasting Finish 25 Hour with Comfort Serum. I'm in the shade 200, which is soft beige. It says Skin Perfecting Full Coverage Foundation. So this retails at $6.99. I've really enjoyed using this. I've used this quite a few times since I kind of did my evaluation of all of these. I think the one thing well, there's a few things, but one of the things I don't love, it doesn't have a pump. You kind of do this pouring thing, and I don't love that. I mean, you could pour it into the cap if you want and then use a brush or a beauty blender. You could definitely do that. So I felt, you know, when you use it, it goes on really beautifully and smooth. It blends in. The color is really nice on me. It has this nice finish where it's not too shiny, it's not too matte. But by the end of the day, it was a tiny, tiny bit shiny. But as I mentioned earlier, I will take shininess over patchiness. I feel like shininess I can kind of contend with. I can use oils, I can kind of blot, I can use a powder if needs to. It's not something I typically do throughout the day, but you know, we can kind of combat that. But I feel like patchiness is just one of those problems. It's just really hard to combat. Oiliness we can kind of fix, patchiness not so much. So if something goes oily on me and not patchy, I'm gonna rate it higher than something that goes patchy, just so you know. So yeah, the only thing is, well, I felt maybe sometimes it kind of settled in a little bit of my pores, so definitely use a primer with this to avoid that. Otherwise, it is a really good foundation for $6.99. I think it's a really good foundation. I think my only thing I would change, as well as the shininess, I would also change the fact of having a pump. But definitely check this foundation out if you're looking to add some more to your collection. I'm definitely interested to see how this wears in the winter. But overall, it's a good foundation. It holds up in 100-degree heat. So I'm kind of all about that life. So definitely check out the Rimmel foundation. Number 3 on my list is Neutrogena Healthy Skin Liquid Makeup. This has titanium dioxide sunscreen, broad SPF, and an antioxidant blend. So right off the bat, I want to say that this is not a long-lasting foundation, but the reason it is number 3 is because I really just love how it felt on my skin. It didn't feel like clingy, it just felt very light, almost like a tinted moisturizer, you know, and it had a beautiful color, it had a beautiful finish. Did it last? No, but this is not really claiming to be a long wearing foundation, and perhaps if you have drier skin or you appreciate a foundation that kind of, it says healthy skin, that's what it's kind of promoting, then this is definitely one to check out. It retails at $13.99. Overall, I just really liked this, and I think sometimes, you don't always want that cakey, heavy look. You want something that you're just gonna put on really quick, head out the door, run some errands, and come back. You don't need this like all day lasting foundation. 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, I kind of do, but maybe Saturday, Sunday, I'm running a quick errand, I'm going to the store, I'm getting my hair done, I just want something easy, quick. I loved the look this gave. So this is kind of an odd one for me. Does it perform, does it last? No, but the benefits of it are really great. It's light, as I said. I think it is a good one to think about. So that's why I put it as number 3 of my drugstore foundations. Number 2 is the CoverGirl Ready Set Gorgeous Foundation. So this has been my go-to, I want to say, for a good few years. I've gone through multiple bottles, I've repurchased it. I'm in the shade 115, and this retails for around $8.99. I think that's a great price. This does last pretty much all day. I find that I have minimal clumping, minimal patching. I feel like it controls the shine. I feel like it's not too matte. I feel like it's not too shiny. I feel like it's an overall really great foundation. If you have not tried this, I definitely highly recommend it. I've been using it for years and years. When you buy something, you repurchase something, you obviously love it because you're buying and repurchasing it. So because of that, I had to throw this in as number 2. It did get beaten by something else, but overall, this is a really great foundation. It's kind of like that loyal friend that you can always go to. It's always going to be there. It's kind of scary because in some of the drugstores I go to, I have not been seeing this as much, and I'm like, oh my god, please don't discontinue this. But there's no sign that they have, but I really hope they don't. I will have to go to my other foundations if they do. But this, if you want long lasting, that's your top priority, and you want it under $10, you go right here. You buy this. This is what you're gonna have. This is what you're gonna need. This is what you're gonna want. This is gonna be your friend. So, Ready Set Gorgeous Foundation by CoverGirl. I highly recommend this. This is my number 2 from the drugstore. Definitely check this out. Under 10 bucks, you really cannot go wrong. So the number 1 foundation, you have probably guessed I talk about this in my most recent monthly favorites video. This is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation. At $5.99, this foundation is completely amazing. I can honestly not say enough good things about this foundation. I'm wearing it right now. It just gives such a great coverage, such a great look. I mean, I'm just kind of looking in the viewfinder right now. That's what I say, what I look for. Not too matte, not too shiny. Just kind of that, hey, I've got really great skin, I glow. You can't really even tell I'm wearing foundation, but I am. And that's what I love about this foundation. I think one of my only drawbacks is the applicator. It has this like scoopy paddle thing. And I've heard people say it's not the most hygienic thing in the world. I also heard somebody say that it smells of paint. I mean, look, it's not the most amazing smelling thing. This smell doesn't offend me personally. So, no, it does not smell, it's not the best smell ever, but it's not the worst smell. For me, it's completely fine. The amazingness of this foundation outweighs by far, hands down, the slight paint smell. I don't think it's strong enough or heavy enough to be like, oh god, no, I can't. For me, it's completely fine. To be honest, I didn't actually notice it until that person said, until somebody I was watching on YouTube was like, oh, it kind of smells a bit of paint. I was like, oh, does it? I don't know. Didn't even notice. So, otherwise, I love this foundation. If you are going for a night out, if you are going somewhere and you are going to get photographed, perhaps you're doing engagement photos or something like that where you have to do your own makeup, I would definitely highly recommend this. Set with some powder, bring it all together with some setting spray. It's going to look fabulous on camera. It's going to look so good. I think my one drawback with this for me is that it is not long lasting. It doesn't claim to be long lasting. There's no one on here that says, oh, hey, we last all day. It doesn't say that. So because of that, I don't expect that. So it's when things make the claim that they are long lasting, whether it be foundation, lipstick, any of those things they claim to be long lasting and they're not, that's when you're like, hey girl, what you doing? It's not cool. So, this doesn't say that, so for that reason, that's fine with me. In a perfect world, yes, I would love it to be long lasting and have this beautiful finish, but I'll take it. But it's the finish, hands down. The first time I used this, I was like, where have you been? Like, where have you been? It was just very, very good. And the people that tried it, they really rave about it. For me, this just really worked. I definitely highly recommend this. For $5.99, you cannot go wrong. You need this in your collection right now. You need to go after this video, go to your nearest drugstore and go pick up some of this, because honestly, it's amazing, it's amazing, it's amazing. This, I'm in the shade 365C, soft beige. I really love the color on me. It's slightly darker, but it's not too dark. You can kind of just easily blend it in. I'm hoping to get a little bit more tan this summer, so that's gonna just work out great. Yeah, hands down, number one. Number one. So I definitely highly recommend this, so definitely go check this out. Alright guys, that is it for my top 5 drugstore foundations. I really hope you liked this video. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite foundation is. I am super curious. So I'll probably find some more foundations to review and see what I think about those. I love trying out drugstore foundations, and I was actually pleasantly surprised with the quality. I feel like the drugstore has really upped its game, and there are some really, really good options available. So if you're looking to expand your foundation collection, definitely check out my top 5. Let me know in the comments below, and I would love it so much if you would give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more makeup, lifestyle, day in the life, all that good stuff. That would be great. And in the meantime, I hope you guys have a great day. Take care. Bye.